Peace and blessings. This is IamYoungBlackMan. Come back at y'all with another video. Hope everybody's doing well, having a prosperous week. This is a motivational Monday double upload. I thought about this video, and this is probably like a direct upload. As soon as I thought about it, I said, let me hit record real quick and talk about it. And I didn't have time, so I wrote it out and said I was going to hit it and come back to it before the day was over with. And simply, the video is, what is your legacy? What is your legacy? What would your legacy be ultimately? This video is not so much it will be a legacy from a death standpoint, or like, leaving a legacy or will or estate, even though all that is important. I think within the Black community that is not as emphasized as much as it needs to be about having contingency plans. But what I mean is, legitimately, what is your legacy? What will be your legacy within every single aspect that you do? What will be your legacy at 18? What is your legacy at 18? What is your legacy at 21? What is your legacy at 25, at 35, at 40, at 55? I saw a caption that's going around Instagram or a meme or whatever you call it, where it's a picture and then they got the words in it, hey, don't judge. But it simply said, don't look back at your youth at 30 years old and say the only thing that you did was dress fly. And I thought about that and I said, man, because ultimately that goes into the legacy piece. Even at the age that you are right now, let's say that you're 18, 19, 20. 10 years from now, you don't want to go back in your life and say, man, I didn't really do nothing, but I had all the fresh J's. I didn't really do anything, but Friday night never went by that, didn't have a date. Or I ate at every single restaurant. That's cool. You enjoy life, but you also want to have a legacy, something that you can look back on 5 years from now and say, I did that, and that made a positive impact on my life, on the lives of other people around me. It blessed me. It blessed the lives of others. That's legacy. That's a living legacy. So maybe we need to change that to what is your living legacy? But I don't know how you thought about that. I really did, bros. I know y'all bear with me on this one, but just think about this. So this is me being real talk. I graduate, close to graduating for a second time, pursuing another degree. And as I'm about to graduate, I got to thinking about wanting to create legacy. As I left one institution with a degree and about to leave a second institution with a degree, I left something at that past school, which was a legacy to build upon. Now, what happened to it, I don't know, because ultimately I didn't get the chance to really go back and spend and implement that time. But I'm hoping that somebody carried that legacy on, and it's still living on. At the very least, people were motivated and inspired by it for the few semesters that it was on campus, and it made an impact in their life, and maybe they were able to start something closely related to that, had a motivation, inspiration to start something as a result of that. And as even though within this opportunity that even I'm about to graduate this institution, I really put in my own time, and in a short period of time, people started knowing me and have that name or whatever you want to call it. But at the same time, I was able to go in and create opportunities. I still want to do more to leave a legacy, leaving something around there, even if I graduate and maybe come back there and work within an employment capacity, or just come back to visit, or maybe get another degree from the school, or just simply maybe even being something that my future kids will go to this institution or university, doing something I can go back and say, hey, I did this, and it's still thriving and still successful, or it was thriving and successful for X amount of years, and it grew and manifested and evolved into this other opportunity, and so forth and so on, right? So it's wanting to create legacy, because ultimately I'm about to graduate. I'm saying I got to do something. I got a few semesters left to go. I need to do something different. I'm involved with some stuff now, but what can I do to specifically target the people that I'm trying to target? And my passion is helping young brothers, helping young men of color. So I said, I'm not trying to create a legacy for clout. I'm not trying to create it for clout, but for completion. Let me say that again. Not trying to create a legacy for clout, but for completion. Not for clout, but for the community. Not for clout, but for continuous success. Not for clout, but for continuing excellence. Continuous excellence as I exit my second collegiate journey, leaving a lasting legacy. So I'm not trying to create it for clout, but for completion. Not for clout, but for the community. Not for clout, but for a continuous theme or level or path of success, or continuing excellence, continuous excellence as I exit my second collegiate journey, leaving a lasting legacy so that other brothers may have an opportunity to be great as I've had an opportunity to be great, to be blessed as I've had an opportunity to be blessed, to be mentored as I've had the opportunity to be mentored, to be able to do great things because I had an example of seeing other great men do great things. being able to be the best I can be and have that support system. All of these things. That's why I want to create a legacy. I plan on going to where I eat healthy and go to the gym, so I plan to be here for a long time. But as you have major transitions, or as you transition on to the next phase and to the next aspect of life, you always want to leave any situation, whether it be a romantic relationship, or whether it be a friendship, or whether it be a business partnership, or whether it be a job, you always want to leave on good terms. You always want to leave on positive terms. You know, in business, they say, what is it? They say in the red or in the black. You always want to leave, what's the word I'm looking for, on a positive note, on a beneficial note, leaving better than you were before, leaving with cushion to be able to grow and excel, and not leaving on detrimental or negative terms. You want to be able to do that. You want to be able to leave on your own terms. That's powerful as well. So for me, my passion is to help young black men. And some bros are suffering within my community. Maybe even in the neighborhood that you grew up in, maybe in the area that you grew up in. I know the area that I grew up in, the area that I'm going to school in, is not all brothers. Now, let's not spread that false narrative. But there's a lot of brothers who are suffering, are going through hard times, going through hardship. Even within the journey that what I want to start, the organization, or the thing that I'm attempting to create a foundation, is for the brothers to show that college is attainable, that success is obtainable, that you can do it. There's an article that's read right now that says, out of any race of women, any ethnic group or whatever, black women are going to college at a more higher rate than any other woman on planet Earth. And I want to be able to say the same for our brothers. And not saying that college automatically equates success, but it helps you in achievement. It's something that somebody cannot take away from you. College, I look at education as being the pathway to success. Whether you're going after a trade, or a 2-year degree, or a 4-year degree, or a master's, or a doctorate, or whatever you're going after. I look at all those things as being a path to success and ultimately your happiness, and helping you within that journey. Some bros are suffering in the community. So I begin to ask myself, how do I fix that within the resources I have? At least the ones that are accessible to me. And I came up with the idea that even though I'm already involved, there's nothing that's targeting a specific group. This idea came to me as I planned and implemented a program on campus to empower the overall African American or community that we live in right now, and it's close to the city where the school is in. And something that happened there was this organization that was specifically for kids, and it's almost like you don't know, you hear about Denzel Washington a lot of time talking about Boys and Girls Club and so forth. But it was one of these organizations, and when the lady looked at me with sadness in her eyes and legitimately said, "There's 50 young black men on the organization's caseload, on the case docket, that need mentors that look like them. That they always have volunteers, but the volunteers generally don't look like them. They're usually older, I'm just gonna be honest, Caucasian male, or older, or a younger Caucasian male, or somebody else. But it's never a black male that's like legitimately there to have their best interests in mind. They'll be able to come there to the rec and shoot hoops with them. To be able to come to the Boys and Girls Center and to talk about their experience as a police officer, as a firefighter, as a businessman, as an entrepreneur, as a barber, whatever it might be. By having those things. And she has 50 young black men on a caseload, legitimately looking for a mentor, a consistent mentor to be in their life, to be able to help them, to support them in what their endeavors are, and show them that life is obtainable. And I told myself at that point, it troubled me in my soul that I really couldn't do a whole lot about it. Because of course I'm trying to graduate, but I said I got to do something. I got to implement some kind of plan or action. And ultimately, out of that night saying, I can't copy myself 50 times. I can't even probably recruit 50 bros, because already bros, I hang around a very strategic circle. So there's already brothers doing great things within the community. So I can't really say I can find 50 brothers that, will be able to jump in and everybody take one young brother and help build them and support. So I said, what can I do to be able to help these brothers and help brothers throughout the city right now who are suffering? Maybe within certain events or certain aspects that one can get them together, a collective at one time, and give them that motivation and inspiration. But also have that continuous path. I'm working on a website and web page and all that kind of stuff. But I said, how can I be a part of the solution by creating change, by being an example? And I said, I can ultimately do this by creating a living legacy. So again, I'm trying to start this organization right now that will be able to be a living legacy, that will not compete against any of the other organizations on campus, It would not be anything fraternity or Greek life related. It would not be anything that's whatever. It'd just be an organization that all bros can join, whether they Greek affiliated or not, whether they freshmen, sophomore, junior, seniors, graduate students, undergraduate students. It's not there to stop the programs that are there for the Africans, again, bros who even suffering on college campuses right now with academics and other life. Not competing with that. This organization will, if I can get it approved, will solely be entailed to help the younger brothers to bridge that gap so that they do not fall at the wayside in middle school and high school. I think about the story. I don't know why. I just think about certain stories the young brothers hearing that, by the time, that fourth grade syndrome of a third grade syndrome that Dr. Jawanza Kunjufu talks about within the conspiracy to destroy young black boys. If you never heard of that, definitely go look that up. Dr. Jawanza Kunjufu. If I'm saying it incorrectly, I apologize. I'll leave it down in the description box below. But definitely look at that. And then you even hear about these things, these brothers having that disconnect at 14, 15, 16, going to high school, then dealing with life and dealing with other issues, and then them in community college dealing with it. 70% of brothers go to community college. I went to a community college, right? And I had a hard time there, dealing with certain aspects and even life outside of academia. So again, what can we do to help that? And that's why I thought about this organization that I'm trying to start, and hopefully from my mouth to God's ears, things do go well and we can be able to start and create it. That would be a living legacy for me, something I can go check in on, something I can consistently help with, even after I graduate, and definitely help implement that, and help to see other bros ushered in and continue those initiatives and continue to do things, even if it means 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, even if it means 1 event a month, which ultimately equates to about 4 or 5 events a semester to help young brothers. I've succeeded in certain aspects to be able to put something out there that was not out there before, to be able to extend that hand to help the next one. It's always the saying, you never ever look down on another brother unless you dare to put that hand out there to help pull them up to where you are, if you're at a higher level or you're on to the next level, right? So I ultimately going to close like this. Live every day the best way possible. Ultimately, live every day the best way possible. Live every day like it's the last opportunity for greatness you'll ever have. I don't like the idea of saying live every day like it's your last, because ultimately I believe that we are all spirits and bodies. So energy does not die, it just transfers onto the next one. It just transitions on to the next one. So I don't believe in there's a last day. I believe we continue to go on to the next great thing. But I say live every day the best way possible. Live every day like it's the last opportunity for greatness you'll ever have. Because you will find that in a certain aspect, life is not guaranteed. Life is not playworld. So again, you got to be able to do the things that will cause you to be great and do great. So live every day like it's the last opportunity for greatness you'll ever see. I always say that all the time. Bros always be saying that when it comes to dating a relationship. You see that beautiful girl, you may never see it again, so just shoot your shot, go out there. I mean, that with life in general. I think we have to get out of the mindset of always just chasing. I watched Devon Franklin again, and he talks about, the dog and taming the dog and the master, and talks about that idea. We all got to get out of the mindset of always being about chasing or pursuing. Even though relationships are great, always go out there. If you see a beautiful sister, great sister that you think could be the one for you, definitely do that. But we always put all of our effort to shoot that shot. We never shoot the shot in business. We never shoot the shot in certain things. Cole said a line that was so deep and so cold. He said a brother spent half the time chasing, whatever that they did and trying to be successful. They'll all be famous or rich. I can't think of the line he used in that, but he was like, if we took the time that we did to chase the things that a lot of times, are not on the top of the priorities. We took the time to actually chase the things that were on priorities: business, success, happiness, appreciation, health, wealth, success, community, finding the source of our dreams, and not just chasing, believing in quality over quantity. We did all those things, we will already be successful, be closer to the level of success that we want and need. So live every single day like the last opportunity for greatness you'll ever have. And in closing, quote by Bruce Lee said, if you love life, don't waste time, because time is what life is made of. Ultimately, live the life that you choose to live. But what is your living legacy? What is your lasting legacy? What are you leaving as you transition on, whether you're graduating from high school? What kind of organization, themes, what kind of study groups, what kind of study halls, what kind of organizations, what kind of time, what kind of foundation are you taking outside of the school? What kind of mindset are you leaving behind? What kind of implements, even if it's something as simple as, if you see your brother, dapping up. I saw a brother who legitimately fist bump everybody he know at school. If it's something as simple as just looking out for people, starting a food closet, or starting, a lost in clothing, career closet at your school, high school, community college, whatever it is that is your passion. What are you doing? Maybe offering free tutoring, and maybe somebody else will say, hey, I'm gonna go offer free tutoring because this guy offered free tutoring. I'm gonna continue to leave behind the legacy that he left behind. What will be a living legacy as you